I wanted to make this just to kind of let it be known how I feel in this current moment. Maybe I'll look back on it in a few months, a few years, if I make it that far, and I'll be able to feel differently. I guess that's the goal, right? That I'll feel different. I have next to no confidence in myself. I don't really. Yeah, I don't have any confidence in myself. And even when I do things that people applaud, I don't really feel it. I don't feel that applause within myself. Or if I do, it's literally for like a few seconds. And then I'm immediately like, it's gone. There's no more pride in the fact that I accomplished this thing. It's gone. It's immediately just, what do I have to do next? Because I haven't done enough. I discovered something a few days ago called passive suicide, and I mean, it's basically as the definition describes. It's not that you want to harm yourself, but you want something to happen to you that would either gravely injure you or end you. I'd been feeling this way since I went to Colorado. While I was at Job Corps, and hasn't really stopped since then. Sometimes it fades, sometimes it grows, and it fades again. I need my water. Where's my water? Oh gosh. Okay. There's not much left in here, but yeah. Passive suicide. So basically, I want to, like, at Colorado, I worked at the national park there while I was at Job Corps. I'm a little too drunk. It's throwing me off a bit. It's not like I'm like so drunk I'm gonna like pass out, but I'm just like, it's making me just like, I like to get drunk, but I don't like to be so drunk that I have to say to myself, I'm a little too drunk. Then I think I've gone too far. I never understand people who like to just get wasted. Maybe they don't even like to get wasted. It's just they started drinking, they drink more, and before they realize that they're wasted, and maybe the next day they wake up and they're like, I didn't want to go that far. I don't like to do that. I don't even like to get close to that. The very second that I feel even the tiniest bit that I'm too drunk, I'm like, okay, I don't like this anymore. Anyways, passive suicide. So, in Colorado, I worked at a national park, way up in the mountains. I think it was, I'm not remembering properly, this could be wrong. I think it was like 13,000 feet in the air. I couldn't remember right now. I'm not going to try and remember what it actually was. But as we rode the charter bus up to our job, a lot of steep turns, a lot of big inclines, and often while I was riding up, listening to K. Dot, Kung Fu Kenny, Mr. Morale, Kendrick Lamar, I'd think, you know, I don't want the other people on this bus to die, you know? It's not like I want anything to happen to them, but I couldn't help but think some part of me would hope that for some reason the bus would crash or spin out of control, roll over the railing, and just tumble down that mountain, thousands of feet in the air. When I was on the plane to Colorado, when I was on the plane back, when I was on the plane to Job Corps, and when I was on the plane back home here in West Virginia, thought the same thing. I don't really want the other people on this plane to suffer, right? But in terms of just me alone, kind of hoping the plane crashes, spins out of control, nosedive, whatever. Often when I'm driving to work and I'm on the highway, obviously I still drive properly, but some part of me hopes some accident will happen and I'm involved in it. Same thing. I don't really want anyone else to get hurt, right? But kind of want something to happen to me. And it's like, I can't inflict any harm on myself. You know, I've tried, never followed through, never really cut myself. Most I do is like, I punch my leg until it hurts a ton. I can't punch myself in the face a bunch. I just, after a while, I just stop. It still hurts, but I can't go farther. I can't really inflict pain upon myself, but I do hope something else happens to me. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have, for the most part, lost all touch with who I am or who I was. And when I think back on that, I still don't even really know who that was. Because some of the same problems were there, they were just lower than what they are now. So I don't exactly know what I am. I don't really know what I'm doing. And everything I do, I fail at. I'm more emotional and sentimental than I'd like to admit. I have no problem knowing that I am very sentimental and emotional to myself. But I struggle to let other people know that. And I kind of restrict myself so that they don't know that. It's always there, but I don't want it to be known. And because of that, doing that for so long, it's been hard for me to figure out what is me and what is me restricting myself. I've done it for so long, I can't tell the difference. I've suppressed myself for so long and pushed to the forefront the things that I think I should be for so long that I don't really know the difference anymore. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be. I don't really know what it is to be me. Sometimes I think I do, like when I just act without thinking. But even then, it still feels like a mask when I look back on it. Like I'm still hiding something, or I'm still fabricating something that isn't really there. I don't really know who I am. When I was at Job Corps, I had a relationship of sorts, and it meant a lot to me. Now, if you were to ask the other person if it meant a lot, they'd probably give you a different answer, because the biggest gripe they had with me is I didn't really show them love. I didn't express it in the way that they were hoping, or really just in general. Now, on my side, I thought I was doing it in the ways that they would appreciate or acknowledge, and didn't really come across that way. The way I thought I was giving love was not the way that they received love. So all of my attempts kind of missed the mark. And when I found that out, I felt a little defeated, right? Just like I thought I was doing something. Come to find out, I didn't really do anything. Not anything that mattered, at least. And the ways that I was being asked to show said love, it was a bit much for me. Without getting into too much detail, because that's not really important. I was just being asked to do things I wasn't exactly comfortable with. And all that boils down to, I was just being asked to be more vulnerable. I was being asked to be more open about myself. And that was hard to do. I have safeguarded a lot of my deeper aspects for a long time. And so even in a relationship, it wasn't exactly easy to take off those locks, remove those chains, unseal those gates. It was hard. The person in question did have some tendencies that made it hard for me to feel comfortable around them, which did contribute to me closing myself off, but that's only a part of the picture. I'm not here to put any blame on them. This is not about them. It's about me. Regardless of what they did within myself, I found it hard to open up. Even though I wanted to. And I did in very, very small doses. But it wasn't enough. You can't just do a little bit here and there and expect it to be enough. And I think a larger part of why I couldn't do that is I didn't feel like what I am, what I was worth putting out. I didn't feel like it was worth expressing. I didn't feel like it was worth being shown. The voices in my head for years were constantly putting me down, and eventually those voices just became my own. You know how you have negative thoughts, but you can push them away. You can push them away and be like, no, no, no. But other times, you really listen to those voices, and after a while, they start to just become your thoughts. That's what happened to me. It just became my thoughts. So it's been that way for years. I can't exactly pinpoint when it started. It's been going on since I was a kid, but it evolved some time after graduation, maybe around when my parents got divorced. It just expanded. Haven't really been able to beat it since. And now any minor instance of me feeling confidence is short-lived. And when I do something wrong, the negative voices just come swinging hard. And at first it was like every now and then the voices will come swinging, they swing hard and they go away. But for the past few years, they've just been there. They haven't really gone away. They went from showing up at the front door every now and then leaving to now they just live here. They're in my room, they're in the bathroom, they're in the kitchen, they're in the garage, they're at the front door, they're in my car, they're at work, they're everywhere. And having voices like that barrage you for long enough, you get beaten down to where you can't really get back up. It's like if you got jumped. 7, 8 dudes, bam, 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 pounded down on you. You're one guy, just beat you down till you're on the floor. You can't really get back up. You're so hurt you can't get back up. You just lay there. That's where I've been at. And the worst part is, part of me tells me that that's just where I belong. You're not really supposed to get back up. And any voices from yourself or outside that are telling you can't get back up, they don't really hit. So I'm kind of just living. I don't really know what I'm doing. I used to know what I was doing, but then the voices got to me, threw me off of my confidence, my inspiration, my purpose. now those things don't get through to me anymore. If they do, it's for a few minutes. You know, I listen to an inspirational Kendrick song, or I watch a scene from an anime, or I listen to some reels, some inspirational shit, and it gives me a little boost, but it dies off quick. Because that's just an outside voice trying to push in to the inner voices that have made themselves at home and have fortified themselves heartily within my mind. So nothing really breaks through. The worst part is I have enough respect or whatever in myself to where I don't want to like fall to rock bottom. Like, I don't want to become completely useless. But I also can't bring myself to be something more. I do just enough to not be a nuisance, to not be a bum, you know, a couch potato, you know, sloth, you know, stuff like that. I do just enough to not completely fall, but I just stay in that area of I'm barely doing enough to stay up. And really the only reason I do that is because I don't want to be a nuisance to everyone else. But I can't bring myself to push myself further. Every time I try, I feel like I'm trying to fight against something that's not meant to be fought against, and I don't really get anywhere. And even the moments where people say that I've done something good, I don't really see it that way. Like, when I graduated from Job Corps, I could go on for a long time about how difficult it was for me to be there. That could be a whole hour video in itself. I'm the king of yapping, I promise you. I could yap for a long time about that. When I graduated, you know, for a little bit, I felt a sense of accomplishment. But it quickly just fell into, that's what you were supposed to do. That's what you came here to do. Why are you being celebrated and congratulated for something you were supposed to do? It'd be like if you're at your parents' house and they tell you to wash the dishes, so you wash the dishes, and then they start clapping and celebrating and they want to have a whole party for you washing the dishes. It's like, I was supposed to do that. I don't understand why you're celebrating me for something I was told to do, something I was supposed to do, and so I did it. Doesn't make sense. You know, I'm sure someone with a better clarity within themselves will be able to say that's not how that works. But that's just how it is in my mind. I had finished Job Corps and I was kind of just like, well, I've messed up so much. This was sort of like my final chance, so to speak. So it's kind of like either you do this or you just fall completely. So do it. And so I did. So when I did it, it wasn't like a, yes, I did it. I made it through. I pushed myself. Sure, I felt that for a few seconds, but it faded. It faded within like half an hour or an hour. It was just, well, I did what I was supposed to do. What is it I need to do next? There was no celebration. There was no self-confidence. It was just, That's what I was supposed to do. Like when you go to the front door and you put on your shoes before you leave the house. If someone celebrated you for putting on your shoes before you leave the house, you'd be like, what is this? What are y'all doing? I was supposed to put on my shoes before I leave the house. Why are we having a big celebration? That's how it feels. So I didn't even really feel proud of that. It's just like, that's just what I was supposed to do. What do I have to do next? But everyone else is proud of me, happy. Everyone else was more proud of me for completing Job Corps than I was. Everyone. I just felt like it was a thing on a checklist. I was already ready to figure out what I had to do next. So this is already 25 minutes long. I could talk for 2 hours. It's not really necessary. I just wherever I was, like a few years ago, I don't know where he's at. I don't know what's going on right now. It's not like it's just something that's been going on for a month or two. This has been years. I just hide it from people so they don't think it's really happening. You know, my mom thinks I'm all good and all that stuff because I sound all happy and stuff when I'm playing games with my friends and, you know. All right, well, that's it.